Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm here again today with another wearable project. This is a beautiful crochet top in ombre colors. This is a dawn to dusk reversible top, so you can wear it either with the dark side in front or the light side depending on what your mood is like. So let's get started. So for this project, we're going to use this beautiful cake of yarn by YarnArt. It's called YarnArt Flowers. So this project actually doesn't use that much yarn. I had a skein of this gorgeous ombre fingering or #1 weight yarn, and I didn't even use it completely. I've used about 3/4 of it to make my top. Also, I'm going to be using a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a few stitch markers, a yarn needle, and you'll need some measuring tape to measure yourself. So we're going to be working this project in two panels, a front panel and a back panel. Now to figure out the sizing of these two panels, all you need to do is measure yourself across the largest portion of your bust. For example, if at the largest portion you're 30 inches, then you're going to divide that by half, which is 15 inches. And that's going to be the size of the front and back panel. I always prefer leaving a little bit of extra space because it's always better that you make something looser rather than tighter. So I add an extra 5 inches on both sides, making that 20 for the front panel and 20 inches for the back panel. So we're going to be making this pattern in multiples of 5 plus 3. What that means is, till you reach your desired length, you're going to keep crocheting multiples of 5. So again, in my example, since I had 20 inches on either side, I'm going to keep crocheting multiples of 5 till I reach 20 inches. And then to that, I'm going to add an additional 3 chains. So I'll also be putting some standard chain sizes for your foundation row on the screen right now. This is for a couple of sizes, but I always feel like if you measure yourself, you can't really go wrong. So create your foundation chain and I'll show you how to proceed. So I usually prefer wearing a large, but because I crochet extremely loose, I've gone ahead and made 90 chains, and to this I'm going to add another 3 to make the total 93. Now for row number 1, we're going to go to the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and then this one is the 4th chain, and in that we're going to place a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into the chain, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now you're going to chain 2. You're going to skip the next 2 stitches. So we're going to skip this stitch and this stitch. Into the 3rd stitch, we're going to place 1 double crochet. Into the next 2 stitches after that, we're going to place 1 double crochet each. And this is what you're going to repeat. So now again you're going to chain 2, you're going to skip 2 stitches, so 1 and 2, and then in the 3rd stitch you're going to place a double crochet and then a double crochet in the 2 stitches after that. So continue this pattern until you reach the end. Once you reach the last few stitches, I'll show you how to complete the row. So just to show you up close one more time, the pattern that we're following is chain 2, skip 2, and then 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Now once you've reached the end of the row, you should have 4 stitches left. So you're going to chain 2, skip 2, and then place 1 double crochet in the last 2 stitches. And this is how your completed row should look. Now for row 2, you're just going to chain 1 and turn your work around. If you see in the beginning, we have these 2 stitches. Into the first double crochet, you're going to place 1 single crochet. Skip the next double crochet, and into the space right here, you're going to place 5 double crochets or a shell. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now you've come to the space wherein you have 3 double crochets. Skip the first one. Into the second one, you're going to place a single crochet. You're going to skip the third one, and you've reached a space again. Into the space, you're going to place 5 double crochets to make a shell. Again, we've come to a space with 3 double crochets. Skip the first one. Into the second one, place a single crochet. Skip the third one, and in this space again, you're going to place a shell of 5 double crochets. Once you reach a space of 3, skip the first one, place a single crochet in the second one, skip the third one, and continue with a shell. So make this pattern all the way around until you reach the end, and once you reach the last few stitches, I'll show you how to complete this row. So now once you've reached the end of the row, just place your last shell in the last chain 2 space, and now you have your first double crochet as well as your turning chain. So you're going to skip this double crochet, go into that turning chain, and on top of that turning chain, you're going to place 1 single crochet, and that completes this row. Now we can start with row 3. For row 3, you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. So now just identify your first shell. So your first shell is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. We're going to skip this first one. Into the next 3, we're going to place a double crochet each. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and then you have one more stitch right here. You're going to skip that. You're going to chain 2, skip the first stitch of your next shell again. Into the next 3, place 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, skip the last stitch here, skip the first stitch here, and go on placing 3 double crochets in the middle 3 stitches of the shell. 1, 2, and 3. So now this is how your pattern looks. You're going to now chain 2, skip the last stitch of this shell, skip the first stitch of this shell, and place 3 double crochets. So continue this until you reach your last shell, and I'll show you how to complete this row. Now once you've reached the end of this row and you've placed your last 3 double crochets, you're just going to chain 1, and then in this last single crochet that we placed, you're going to place a triple crochet. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2, and this completes the row. Now for row number 4, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn the work around again. So now in this chain 1 space that we have right here, we're going to place 2 double crochets. So that's 1 and 2. Now you're going to skip the next double crochet. Into the middle double crochet of these 3, you're going to place a single crochet. Now you've come to your chain 2 space right here. Into this chain 2 space, you're going to create a shell. So 5 double crochets. And now we've come to the 3 double crochets over here. into the one right in the middle, one single crochet, and this is your repeat for this row. So it's very similar to the row before. You're just going to place in this chain 2 space 5 double crochets or a shell. Then you'll come to your 3 double crochets from the previous row, skip the first one, on top of the second one place 1 single crochet, skip the third one. Again in the chain 2 space you're going to place a shell of 5 double crochets and continue until you reach the end of the row, and I'll show you how to finish this row as well. So now I'm on the end of this row. I'm just going to place 1 single crochet on the second stitch of these 3 double crochets, and now I have my turning chain from the previous row right here. Into this turning chain I'm going to place 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and that completes this row. Now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3 and turn. Now if you see in the previous row we did the 3 double crochets over here. You're going to skip the first double crochet. On top of the second double crochet you're going to place 1 double crochet, skip the third, chain 2, skip the first double crochet of your shell. Into the next 3 place 1 double crochet each. That's 1, 2 and 3. Now skip the last double crochet over here, skip the first double crochet of the next shell, chain 2 and into the second, third and fourth double crochet of the next shell, 1 double crochet each. 1, 2 and 3. Now again you're going to chain 2, skip the last one here, skip the first one here. Into the next 3 you have 1, 2 and 3, and now that's the pattern you're going to follow. Chain 2, skip the last one here, skip the first one here, 3 double crochets on the next 3 all the way until the end, and I'll show you how to end this row. So now you should have reached the end of the row. Chain 2. Here you have your 3 double crochets. It's 2 double crochets plus your turning chain. Skip the first double crochet. On top of the second one place 1 double crochet, and then into this turning chain that we have right here you're going to place another double crochet, and that's the end of this row. This completes our base rows, and now all the rows that we're going to do ahead are just going to be repeats of these rows. So we're going to be repeating rows 2 to 5 as many times as we need to get the desired length. So I'll just get you started on the next row. So we're going to be repeating the pattern of row 2 for row 6. So you're going to chain 1 and turn. So now into this very first stitch we're going to place 1 single crochet. Into the space right here we're going to place a shell of 5. And now you've come to the 3 double crochets over here. Skip the first one. Into the second one place a single crochet. Skip the third one, and now you can continue the same way as you did for row 2. Once you're done with this, for row 7 you're going to repeat row 3, for 8 you're going to repeat row 4, for 9 row 5, and then for 10 row 2 again. So you've got an idea of the pattern now. Keep making as many rows as you want to reach your desired length. Once you've reached the desired length, create a second piece which is identical to this one, and I'll show you how to join everything together. So now once you're done with your 2 panels, this is how they should look. So you're going to have one panel that looks like this. And if you see, I've ended on row number 2 because I wanted the little shells to come on the bottom. And there's a beautiful gradient from the darker blue to the lighter blue. So now we're going to start joining the two pieces together. The first thing that you need to do is find your wrong side. So your piece of work will have a right side and a wrong side, basically a side that you like better and a side that you don't like as much. Put both the right sides together and keep the wrong sides on the outer end. Now find your midpoint. So you can just take your measuring tape, measure across and find the exact midpoint. Otherwise, you can just count these circles. So if you can see, there are little circles over here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on this side. And here again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my midpoint forms right in the middle of these 3 double crochets. So I pick the middlemost double crochet and that's my midpoint. Now you can decide how deep you want your neck to be. I don't want mine to be too deep, so I'm going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches on this side and place a stitch marker right here. And then on this side again 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to place a stitch marker right here. So this will be my neck hole and then this will be my shoulder area. So now I'm going to show you how to attach your two pieces using a crochet hook. If you want to do it with a yarn needle, you can just do a simple stitch across. But with your crochet hook, you're first going to connect your two sides together. Insert your hook through both the sides. Now just attach your yarn, chain 1. And if you see, this is the place wherein we have the 3 double crochets. On top of each of these double crochets, we're going to place 1 single crochet. So 1, on top of the next one 2, and on top of the third one 3. Now we've come onto this space. In this space, we're going to place 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're back to your 3 double crochets again. So on top of each of them, you're going to place a single crochet. Make sure you're pushing your hook through the front as well as the back. 2 and 3. And now back in a space again, 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now continue until you reach the end, and then you're going to repeat this on the other side as well. I just want to show you, once you reach the end and you've placed your last 4 single crochets, into this very last stitch over here, make sure you insert into the front and the back, place your last single crochet, chain 1 and snip your yarn off. So now once you've attached the shoulders, you can go to the arms. I've marked about 9 inches right here, and that's how big I want my armhole to be. And now I'm just going to move to the bottom, which is right here, and join these two pieces together. In the larger sections over here, like the larger holes, I'm going to place 4 single crochets, and then in this space in between them, I'm going to place 3 single crochets. So it's going to be 4, 3, 4, 3 all the way around until I reach the end. Alternatively, if you want a little slit on the sides just to fit better around your hips, you can leave the last about 3 circles without any stitches on them. So now once you're done sewing everything together, before you tuck in your ends, just flip this the right way. So just turn your garment inside out. So the stitches are a little more subtle on this side. Try this on once, make sure that the sizing is right, make sure that you're happy with everything before you tuck in the ends, because once you do that, then unraveling it and doing it once again is more difficult. So here's my completed top. As promised to you, this is absolutely beginner friendly and so easy to make, and I hardly had to use any yarn to make it. If you enjoyed watching this video, please share it with all your friends. Like the video and comment down below and let me know what you want to see next. Subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye bye.